Well, an opportunity at postseason play has passed by the Dragons. Today provides a chance not only at redemption, but a chance to do something Glens Falls hasn't done in over 1,100 days. Take down the best team in PGCBL history, the Amsterdam Mohawks. Welcome to Ralph Family Stadium at Shuttleworth Park here in Amsterdam, New York. I'm Nathaniel Cunningham, taking you through the action between the Glens Falls Dragons and the Amsterdam Mohawks. These teams met just a week ago, and it didn't go in favor of the Dragons. Glens Falls would end up losing that one by a score of 7-2, and their seventh loss to Amsterdam this season. And like I mentioned, the Dragons out of postseason contention. They're 17 games out of first place and are not able to catch the ninth place team, Mohawk Valley. On the flip side, Amsterdam has clinched another East Division title, so they're playing to keep as much momentum as possible heading into the postseason, which begins next week. The Dragons need an opportunity to go through and take down Amsterdam for the first time in 1,129 days. The time before that came all the way back in 2018. It was 1,448 days before that. But anything can happen now that the gloves are off and the end of the 2025 PGL season has arrived. So with us set almost for first pitch, let's run you through a little bit of a weekend lineup for the Dragons. A couple of players have left the squad, including the PGCBL's leader in home runs, Nick Galello. Add on the fact that Christian and Logan Moat are no longer with the team. It's a different lineup for head coach Ryan Dio. It's led off by the designated hitter, Tate Van Alsten. He'll get this started for the Dragons. James Houghton, the lefty, will be hitting two. Joe Carpier's finds himself in the three-hole with Robert Mello, who's been the consistent DH, hitting four. Brody Keniston, the third baseman, is hitting fifth, with Joe Haynes returning to the catcher spot. He's been one of the best offensive catchers for the Dragons this season. Cameron Biller, the big first baseman, will be over at first, hitting seventh. Chase Falcon will be over in right, and Travis Stroh rounds out a nine-man rotation for the Dragons. On the flip side, for Amsterdam, they've got a lot of talent that have been absolutely stellar this season. It's led off by their shortstop, Chris Holcraft. He's hitting out of the one hole. Jake Sparks, the new third baseman for Amsterdam, is hitting two. And if you recall that name, he hit a double against Glens Falls as a part of the Albany Athletics in a non-league game. He then joined Amsterdam and hit another two in that win on Saturday. Bright Touchstone, the PGCBL's reigning player of the week, is hitting three, with Luke Costello, who's returning from a broken finger, and he's hitting 403 games with a home run in that stretch, is in the cleanup spot. John McKillop will be over at first with Brendan McCrane out in right. He'll be hitting sixth. Brett Roll, a newer player for the Mohawks, will be the designated hitter. John Young Jr. is over at second, and the on-base machine of Luke Philippi rounds out the lineup for Amsterdam. On the mound for the Mohawks will be the other PGCBL East Division Player of the Week, James Reddick, who received PGCBL Player of the Week honors after his performance against Glens Falls on July 19th. Then he went 6 innings, allowed just 3 hits, 1 run that came around to score, but more importantly, he struck out 9 while only walking 1. Reddick, who started the year as a reliever, has in turn become a starter for the Mohawks, and it has paid out greatly for Amsterdam as they continue to make this push for what would be a 4th consecutive PGCBL title and their 10th in 15 years. On the flip side, Glens Falls will throw a little bit of a different look at the Mohawks today. It's going to be Xavier Garcia who takes the bump for the Dragons. And Garcia pitched in that July 18th game against Albany, where the Dragons won and Garcia only went 2 innings, but he struck out 3, only allowed a hit, and no one came home to score. So Garcia, who's been very solid with that incredible breaking ball all day, now this team has got to find a way, if their offense can capitalize in the first inning. Over the last 3 games, Glens Falls has been no-hit through the first 3 1/3 innings in the last 3, and the Dragons look to change that here today. Van Alsten's in the box, ready for the first pitch from Reddick, and it's swung on, fouled straight back, and we're underway here at Ralph Family Stadium. Tate Van Alsten returning to the lineup for the Dragons. He's hitting just .250 on this season with a couple of extra base hits to his name. The 0-1, outside, 1-1. Van Alsten's done a little bit of pitching as well, and as we reach the end of the season, would be very surprised if Van Alsten didn't take the mound once more as he fouls back the 1-1. Count becomes 1-2. He hasn't had the most successful 2025 on the bump. In 3 appearances, he's got a 9.82 ERA. But at the plate is where he's been significantly more successful. He takes a big cut at the 1-2 pitch, and James Reddick picks up where he left off against his Dragons squad. First batter, first strikeout for the starter. So now the first lefty in the lineup for the Dragons is James Houghton. The Rhode Island commit has made it hard to take him out of the lineup, having a lefty bat, something that the Dragons really missed through the first 2 weeks of the season. The 1-0. This one's drilled out to straightaway center. Filippi goes back at the wall, and he grabs it on the warning track. Houghton with a loud out in the top of the first, but it makes it 2 down for James Reddick. So now the shortstop, Joe Carpierre, steps to the dish. Carpierre's this year hitting .273. Watches the first pitch outside, 1-0. Carpierre's has been known to swing early and often. His last couple of games has been very patient. Watches that pitch on the inside. Half called strike 1. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike to Carpierre's. The pitch from Reddick. Upstairs, 2-1. The crowd here at Ralph Family Stadium is filled out a lot more than the weekend matchup because it's firework night here. Pretty much every bit of the seating in front of or behind home plate is full. Carpierre watches the pitch outside, so count becomes 3 balls and 1 strike. The shortstop's got 10 walks on the year, but he fouls off the 3-1 to make it full. So the first full count of the day for James Reddick is against the 3-hole hitter, Joe Carpierre. Reddick not wasting any time, comes set. The payoff pitch. That's chopped over towards the third baseman, Sparks. He fields it cleanly, throws across the diamond. Low pick by McKillop, but it's a 1-2-3 top of the first for James Reddick, and keeps it clean to hand it to the hot bats of the Mohawks. Xavier Garcia takes the mound for the Dragons and looks to do what James Reddick did in the top of the first. A 1-2-3 inning, a strikeout, a flyout, and a groundout. Kept it scoreless for Amsterdam through 1. and now brings up the best offense in the PGCBL and the best team. Amsterdam scores over 7 runs a game, hitting just shy of 280 on the year. The bigger thing is their pitching staff holds opponents to under 4 runs, and they're really not going to allow anybody to reach base. Xavier Garcia, who hasn't had a start in nearly 2 weeks, looks to do the same. He's got to face the dangerous part of the Mohawks lineup, the top 3. The shortstop, Chris Holcraft, will step in to get it started. The first pitch is drilled out to deep left field, but it's caught by the left fielder, Robert Mello. Xavier Garcia does that a lot. He'll pitch to contact, not afraid to go at hitters, especially electric hitters like the all-star Chris Holcraft. Instead, it's a 1-pitch out for Xavier Garcia. So now in steps the lefty third baseman, Jake Sparks. And again, Sparks has hit the Dragons well in his 2 games. That one's drilled. First pitch picked by Biller at first. He'll go step on the bag. And now Xavier Garcia, 2 pitches, 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. If you're Xavier Garcia, that's got to give you a lot of confidence pitching towards contact. But now you got to be careful with the PGCBL Player of the Week, Bray Touchstone. 3rd different player to earn Player of the Week honors. He watches the first pitch as expected, right down Broadway, 0-1. This past week, he had 9 hits with 8 RBIs as he watches a breaking ball from Garcia that never really moved. Count evens at 1-1. Touchstone, known for his RBI total. He's got 34 on the season as he fouls off. There's that patented curveball from Garcia, 1-2. The big lefty won't overpower you with fastballs, but he will throw that hook as much as he wants and then slide in a 2-seamer every once in a while. The 1-2. Upstairs, straight over the head of Joe Haynes into the backstop. We'll even the count at 2-2. In comparison to the other catchers that Glens Falls has on their squad in Brendan McLaughlin and Ryan Jones, Joe Haynes is the shortest one. So getting to those pitches up in the zone is a little harder for the backstop, but Haynes is in there for his bat. The 2-2 pitch, this one's popped up a mile high on the infield. Over goes Houghton at second. He calls off, the shortstop Carpier's calls off the second baseman. And it's a clean first inning for both squads. No runs as both pitchers go 1-2-3 to start the game here at Shuttleworth Park. James Reddick went 1-2-3 in the top of the first. Xavier Garcia responded, went 1-2-3 in the bottom half to keep it scoreless through a frame here at Ralph Family Stadium at Shuttleworth Park. I'm Nathaniel Cunningham. We'll take you through the rest of these 8 innings between the two squads. The Dragons looking to pick up their first win against Amsterdam since June 2nd, 2022. They're going to need to avoid being no-hit through the first 3 innings like they have been the last 3 games. They hand it to the lefty, Robert Mello, to get it started against the PGCBL Player of the Week, James Reddick. The first pitch upstairs for ball 1. Count 0-1, or 1-0. Mello pops this one up into foul territory off to the left-hand side. Touchstone throws his mask, settles underneath it, and has it for out number 1. So now will in steps the third baseman, Brody Keniston. Keniston joining the joining the Dragons a little bit late. He's hitting 286, but that's across 7 ABs. He's got 2 hits. He watches the first pitch in the zone, 0-1. The 0-1 pitch now. Upstairs, evens the count at 1-1. The pitch is in the dirt, makes the count 2-1. Keniston teammates with a leadoff hitter, Tate Van Alsten, over at Southern New Hampshire. And joined the Dragons just 2 weeks ago. The 2-1. That's fouled straight back. Keniston tried to get out in front of the pitch inside. Instead, just fouls it back and evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Reddick on the mound does not waste time. He gets set as soon as possible. The pitch. Swung on and missed. Second strikeout of the day for James Reddick. Picks up out number 2 in the top of the second. So now the backstop for the Dragons, Joe Haynes, will step in. He watches the first pitch, breaking ball, hit the middle of the zone, 0-1. Haynes has the highest batting average amongst qualified hitters on the Dragons, hitting .350 this year with a pair of doubles. He pops that one out into right field. Over goes McCrane. It one-hops off the top of the wall, and Haynes read it poorly, wasn't able to get double number 3. Instead, he'll be held at first. So the right-handed catcher goes to the opposite field, drills one on a line. It hits off the top of the wall, and the first hit of the ball game belongs to Glens Falls. Now in steps the big first baseman, Cam Biller. Biller took a baseball off his hand about 3 weeks ago. It was his glove hand, not his throwing hand, but what looked like should have been a season-ending injury, instead just being a bone bruise that put him out of action for about a half a week. The first pitch to Biller runs inside, almost hits him in the head. He ducks out of the way. Seems like he's all good. Quickly gets back in the box for the 1-0 pitch. Biller this year, sub 200 on the season, as he watches that pitch outside, count 2-0. You saw the excellent defense, though, of the first baseman in the bottom of the first. Made that play against Jake Sparks down the line. As much defense as they can get. They have the worst defense in the PGCBL. Biller takes a big cut, but comes up empty-handed. 2-1. Haynes doing a little bit of dancing around at first on the base pass, but not getting a massive lead off of first. Dancing continues. The 2-1. Checked his swing, did Biller, but the ball was in the zone. Count evens at 2-2. Haynes does have 2 stolen bases this year, but he was caught once as well. Touchstone, one of the better defensive backstops. He's 5 for 23 this season. Deuces wild on the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch. Popped, foul, out of play. And that means we redo the 2-2. So Reddick with a runner on, taking significantly more time than with the bases empty. The 2-2. Outside in the dirt. So it's another full count with 2 outs for James Reddick. Biller has recorded only 5 strikeouts this year, but he's also only got 4 walks. The payoff pitch is fouled straight back. Haynes was on the move with the full count and 2 outs. He'll head back to first. So the first baseman, Biller, making Reddick earn every out. It seemed like it was going to be cruise control for the starter that made it cruise control back on July 19th. Instead, Biller is offering some early trouble. Reddick comes set. The pitch. This one's weakly hit up in the air over towards the second baseman. Young Jr. calls everybody else off. And the 2-out base knock becomes mute. The Mohawks keep it clean as we head to the bottom of the second. Xavier Garcia needed just 7 pitches in the bottom of the first to make it a 1-2-3 frame against the Mohawks. Looks to repeat that in the bottom half of the second. Glens Falls broke up this streak of hitless innings through the first 3 with a Joe Haynes single off the right field wall. Haynes was just about 8 feet shy of a home run, his first of the year. Instead, he ended up with a single and then was stranded with 2 outs. So it's still scoreless here at Ralph Family Stadium, with the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for the Mohawks due up. Luke Costello, John McKillop, and Brendan McCrane will get it done for Amsterdam. Costello, the left fielder, will step in against the lefty hook of Xavier Garcia. The first pitch, fastball, outside, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. There's that big patented hook from Garcia right across the plate. evens the count at 1-1. Costello, over the last 3 games, is hitting .400 with a home run, and that's because he broke his finger at the end of June. The 1-1. This one's drilled on a line over the head, center field gap. It's going to roll all the way to the wall. Stroh will have to pick it up. The throw to Carpier's cuts it off, and Costello, since returning from injury, has been hot. Picks up his 3rd double of the season. It puts the runner in scoring position with nobody out. So now the big lefty first baseman, John McKillop, will step in. Crazy to think that John McKillop hitting .278 is in the bottom half of Amsterdam hitters. First time we see Garcia out of the stretch. McKillop squares the bunt, breaking ball, just missed too far inside, 1-0. McKillop does only have 3 RBIs on the season, but he does have a long ball. And the porches here at Rao Family Stadium a little shorter than they are at East Field. The 1-0. Bounced in the dirt. Haynes does a good job to keep it within reach. Count becomes 2-0, and Costello's got to stay at second. It's only 280 to the poles with some extended fencing, but it's not hard to get one out here at Shuttleworth Park. The pitch. This one's popped up a mile high into shallow right field. Back goes Houghton. He settles underneath it and has it for out number 1. So more weak and high contact caused by Xavier Garcia is the first out in the bottom of the second. So another D1 talent, the freshman from Auburn, Brendan McCrane, will step to the dish. McCrane was the PGCBL Player of the Week earlier this season, has cooled down ever since. He's had a couple of long balls to his name as he watches that breaking ball from Garcia in the dirt. 1-0. McCrane also hitting .278 this year, but 3 doubles, 2 triples, 2 long balls to his name. The 1-0. That one's drilled over the head of Carpier's and into the left center field gap. Round to score is going to be Costello. McCrane is going to get to second. And it's an RBI double for the Auburn kid. Amsterdam jumps out on top early. They've got it, 1-0. So now the lineup keeps moving for Amsterdam, and that's what this Mohawks squad will do. In steps the designated hitter, Brent Rowell. Rowell's first pitch is fouled off to the left-hand side. It's going to get out of play, but if Rowell squared that up with the short porch here at Shuttleworth Park, that'd have been a long ball. Rowell doesn't have an extra base hit this year, nor does he have an RBI. But he's got a runner in scoring position, and McCrane has got wheels. Garcia comes set. The 0-1 pitch. Now they're breaking ball too far inside. 1-1. Aaron Bouchy, the home plate umpire, shifts a little bit to the side of the batter, so he gets a very good look at that inside half. Xavier Garcia loves to throw that front door breaking ball. The 1-1. Bounced in front of the plate, gets away from McCrane, or gets away from Haynes. McCrane will advance to third on the pass ball. And that took a really brutal hop in front of home plate. Garcia spiked the pitch in front, and it looks like if the off-speed pitch just hit a little bit of the plate at a wrong spot side and went over into the Amsterdam on-deck circle. So McCrane advances the 90 feet, makes it a 2-1 count. The pitch. This one's drilled over towards the shortstop, Carpier's. He fields it cleanly, throws to first in tie. But Roel will grab his first out, or his first RBI of the 2025 season, and Amsterdam will take a 2-0 lead.
The second baseman from Alabama, number 3, John Young Jr.
So now the second baseman, John Young Jr., will step into the plate. Back-to-back lefties and a lefty-heavy lineup for Amsterdam to start. The first pitch. Garcia tries to put that off speed on the outside. Not called a strike. 1-0. The 1-0. There's a fastball. Hit the outside half. Evens the count at 1-1. Young Jr. watches the pitch outside. Makes the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Jake O'Connor was warming up pregame, so you imagine if something goes awry, he'll be the guy to go to. The 2-1 is a breaking ball that almost hit Young Jr. in the head. Just released a little too early out of the hands of Garcia. 3-1. Young Jr. hitting .232 this season. Got 23 hits. This is his 100th AB of the year. The 2-2 is popped up over towards the right-hand side. Houghton's got it, calls everyone off in shallow right field, and brings it in for out number 3. So the Dragons give up a couple of runs in the bottom of the second. Amsterdam leads 2-0. A double from Luke Costello, followed by a double from Brendan McCrane. Brought the first run home of the game, and then a ground out from Brent Rowell made it a 2-0 ball game in favor of the Mohawks. Amsterdam scores first and gives their starter, James Reddick, a little bit of security. He now can go out and attack this Glens Falls lineup. The right fielder, Chase Falcon, will get it started for the Dragons. He watches the first pitch, breaking ball in the zone. 0-1. Falcon, the right fielder today, watches that one outside, evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. He's hitting 176 without an extra base hit. He watches that one on the outside half. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Falcon pretty close to that line, but often will step out with his lead foot. The 1-2 outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2 is in there for strike 3. 3 innings, 3 strikeouts for James Reddick, and he's dominating the Dragons. So the speedy center fielder, who's taken over for Tyree Jackson, Travis Stroh, rounds out the Dragons lineup. Stroh's first pitch swinging foul off to the right-hand side. It'll get out of play over towards a packed bleachers section, but up on top of the roof. And again, Ralph Family Stadium here at Shuttleworth Park is absolutely packed. The entire section behind home, there's barely any bleachers seating. The paid expensive seats behind the netting, as well as those bleachers by the dugout, are completely packed. Pitch misses upstairs, makes the count 1 ball and 1 strike. It is absolutely rocking here at Shuttleworth Park for firework night for the Mohawks as Stroh lines that one out into right field. It's got McCrane waiting for it, but he brings it in for out number 2. So a line out makes it 2 outs. It turns the lineup over for the DH, Kate Van Alsten. Van Alsten started this game with a strikeout. He watches the first pitch upstairs, 1-0. That strikeout was the 13th of the season for Van Alsten, as he takes a big cut at the 1-0 and evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1. Runs inside, almost hits Van Alsten along the belt line. 2-1. Again, Reddick wasting no time. As soon as he gets that ball, he comes set on the first base side of the mound. The 2-1 misses up and in, makes it 3-1. The 3-1 pitch, fouled back. Looked like it might have been ball 4 to Van Alsten. Instead, it's a full count. So far today, James Reddick has won both full counts he's been in. The payoff pitch is outside. It's the first free pass, and Reddick thought he went 3 for 3. Instead, the Dragons will happily take a runner on first with 2 outs and hand the ball to James Houghton. Just the 4th walk of the year for Tate Van Alsten, as Houghton, who had a loud fly out to center field, a couple of feet shy of a home run. First pitch is popped up. This went out into the left center field gap. Over goes Costello, but he's going to get called off by Filippi, and it's out number 3. So the Dragons get another 2-out base runner, but can't do anything with it as Amsterdam keeps its 2-0 lead. Xavier Garcia returns to the mound for the Dragons for his 3rd inning of work here at Ralph Family Stadium at Shuttleworth Park. I'm Nathaniel Cunningham taking you through this East Division rivalry. The Dragons were able to get a 2-out base runner thanks to the first free pass issued by James Reddick. The next batter, he got James Houghton flying out. Another loud out for the second baseman, but nothing to come from it. Instead, Garcia has now got to face 9-1-2 in this Amsterdam lineup. It is led off by the second leadoff hitter for Amsterdam, Luke Filippi. He takes a big cut at the first pitch and comes up empty-handed 0-1. Filippi is one of the few hitters that is well below the Mendoza line this year for Amsterdam. He's hitting just 188. The thing is Filippi gets on base over 40% of the time. He's got a 425 OBP, and that's large in part due to the fact that he's got 40 walks this year. The 1-1 is another breaking ball that stays upstairs, 2-1. So it doesn't really matter when you hit below 200 if you can still consistently get on base. Oh, and he's got speed, as he's got 11 stolen bags on the year. Count will be 3-1 now to the 9-hole hitter Filippi. That one's drilled over towards the third baseman, Kenniston. He grabs it on the one hop, throws across the diamond. Biller's got to go to the dirt to grab it, but he does so successfully for out number 1.
The shortstop from St. Bonaventure and Fayetteville, New York.
So Glens Falls does a good job to keep a speedster off the base paths, but now they turn the bat over to a PGCBL All-Star in Chris Holcraft. It's also the top of the lineup for Amsterdam, and Holcraft was first pitch swinging. He hit a line drive to left that was caught by Mello at the wall. The first pitch Holcraft sees this time, he pops it up a mile high over to the left-hand side. Carpier's has got it with ease. And Holcraft at the plate today has seen 2 pitches, both of them outs.
Third baseman from Siena and Hoosick Falls, New York. Number 28.
Now in steps the lefty third baseman, Jake Sparks. And Sparks, again, has just absolutely destroyed Glens Falls over the past week. He takes a check swing at the first pitch. Home plate umpire Aaron Bouchy says he doesn't go around. 1-0. And Sparks had a double when he was on the Albany Athletics, then joins the Mohawks the very next day and hits a pair of doubles in a 7-2 win. That one hits the zone, evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Sparks hit a screamer over to Biller at first, who picked it on the one hop and then stepped on the bag back in the first inning. The 1-1 is another absolutely beautiful breaking ball from Xavier Garcia. 3 straight to start Sparks. Does he go to the well once more? The 1-2. Fastball, this one's drilled out into the right center field gap. Over goes Stroh, tries to make a diving play, but it's off his glove. Instead, Sparks with his speed will make it to second. And almost positive it'll be called a double for Jake Sparks with 2 outs.
Good catcher from the Gulf Coast Community College.
They do call it a double for the third baseman.
Cantonment, New York, Florida.
So in the past week, Jake Sparks has had 4 doubles against this Dragon squad and brings up the RBI leader for Amsterdam, Bray Touchstone. The catcher's got 36 runs batted in this year. He takes a big cut at the first pitch off speed. 0-1. Touchstone popped out to the shortstop Carpier's, but it was directly behind the second base bag back in the first. The 0-1. This one's fouled off to the right-hand side weakly. Bounced once and into the netting. 0-2. Again, Touchstone the reigning Player of the Week in the East Division of the PGCBL. Trying to keep the momentum for Amsterdam hot as they make a push towards their 4th consecutive PGCBL title. The pitch from Garcia. Breaking ball stays upstairs. 1-2. No one has been more dominant in PGCBL history. 9 titles in 14 years for the Mohawks. They're about to lock up the best record in the PGCBL again this season. The 1-2. Fastball straight at Biller, grabbed on a line for out number 3. So allowed double given up by Xavier Garcia is nullified with some more straight contact from the starter. Glens Falls can get their bats back to the plate and start what has been an electric 4th inning the past couple of weeks. Welcome back to Rao Family Stadium here at Shuttleworth Park in Amsterdam, New York. I'm Nathaniel Cunningham. As we enter the top of the 4th, James Reddick, the reigning PGCBL Player of the Week, who through the first 3 innings had held Glens Falls to just 1 hit and 1 walk, has been pulled from this game. And instead, it'll be Nolan Fight, the left-hander from St. Bonaventure, that will take over on the mound. And Nolan Fight had his debut for Amsterdam against the Dragons at East Field. He was absolutely stellar. Since then, across 5 appearances, he's got an 8.64 ERA through 8 1/3 innings. So Fight definitely taking a step back from how he looked in that first appearance, but he's a funky lefty compared to the steamrolling righty that was James Reddick. Fight's last appearance in a game was 3 days ago against the Boonville Lumberjacks, also here at Shuttleworth Park, where he went 2 innings, gave up 2 hits, didn't allow any runs, and struck out 4. So the Mohawks, maybe in an attempt to preserve arms, choosing to change after Reddick goes 3 innings, but had an absolutely stellar 3 innings where he gave up just 1 hit, allowed no run, struck out 3, and 1 walk on 44 pitches. The first pitch to Joe Carpier's is a breaking ball from Nolan Fight that stays upstairs. 1-0. Carpier's grounded out to third his first time up. Another breaking ball from Fight that stays upstairs. A fastball misses upstairs. 3-0, and Fight out of the bullpen has struggled a little bit. The 3-0 fastball, that one hits the inside half. 3-1. Fight did pitch back on July 16th when the Dragons lost to Amsterdam. But in that one, he only pitched an inning where he gave up a hit. He only struck out too, but he gave up a long ball. That was Nicolello's 4th of the year. The payoff pitch is on the outside half for strike 3. Carpier's goes down on strikes for the 25th time this season. And he'll walk back to the dugout confused. Head coach Ryan Dio almost nods in confirmation that it was indeed a strikeout. And it's a first out for Nolan Fight. In steps the lefty Robert Mello. Mello takes a big cut at the first pitch. 0-1. The 0-1 pitch now. Mello hits that one over towards the shortstop, Young Jr. He fields it cleanly, moving towards his left. Throws the first, and it's in time for out number 2. So some weak contact forced by Fight. His first ground out. And that brings up the third baseman, Brody Keniston. Keniston struck out, was one of 3 Ks by James Reddick. Nolan, the 6'4" lefty, got a funky 3/4 arm slot. First pitch to Keniston is in at the knees. 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. That one's fouled off, out of play over towards the parking lot. 0-2. Xavier Garcia, who started this game for the Dragons, will go out for the 4th. No one warming in the Glens Falls bullpen. The 0-2. Swung on and missed. Fight picks up 2 Ks in his first inning of work and keeps it clean. Amsterdam still leads it 2-0. A 4th inning of work for Xavier Garcia is about to get underway here at Ralph Family Stadium at Shuttleworth Park. I'm Nathaniel Cunningham, taking you through this East Division rivalry. The Dragons have been 1 hit through the first 4 innings at the plate. Garcia, however, has only given up 3 hits today and has yet to allow a walk. It's just that all 3 of those hits happen to be doubles. One to Luke Costello, who leads off this 4th inning, another to Brendan McCrane, and the third to Jake Sparks, who's hit his 4th against the Dragons in the last week and a half. So again, it'll be the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for Amsterdam: Luke Costello, John McKillop, and Brendan McCrane. When those 3 were due up back in the 2nd, Costello hit a leadoff double, McKillop popped out to the second baseman, and then McCrane brought in Costello with a double of his own. That was McCrane's 26th RBI of the season. He would then reach third on a wild pitch, and Roel would bring him in on a sacrifice ground out. over towards the shortstop. So Costello will step back in for his second at-bat against Garcia. The first pitch runs inside, almost nails the left fielder. 1-0. The 1-0. Big breaking ball chopped over towards Houghton at second. He fields it on the 2-hop, throws the first in time. The worst defense in the PGCBL has been pretty solid behind the arm of Xavier Garcia. The first out in the bottom of the fourth brings up the lefty, John McKillop. McKillop had that weak pop-up into shallow right field over for Houghton at second. The first pitch he sees is a big breaking ball chopped over to Biller on the 2-hop. He holds off Garcia and will step on the bag himself for out number 2. So a quick 2 outs here in the fourth bring up the right fielder, Brendan McCrane. McCrane had that RBI double that brought home Costello. The first pitch he sees, fastball that's too far outside. 1-0. The 1-0 pitch is off speed on the inside half, evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Garcia also proven he's not afraid to go at these hitters. Has attacked early. The 1-1. That one's popped up out into the left center field gap. Stroh comes in, but he's not going to get there. The right fielder, Mello, grabs it, gets it in quickly, but it's a 2-out base knock for Brendan McCrane. His second hit of the ballgame puts a runner on first to bring up the lefty designated hitter, Brett Rowell. Roll brought McCrane home on a ground out to short. McCrane was able to advance on a wild pitch. And Garcia has struggled a little bit out of the stretch today. The first pitch is a breaking ball. Haynes does a good job to move over and grab it. 1-0. They're going to go check over on McCrane at first. He gets back in there safely as the throw was almost behind the runner and past the outstretched arm of Biller. It's been a problem for Glens Falls all season long. The throw from the pitcher's mound to first has not been good, and it's caused a lot of runners to move an extra 90 feet. Garcia, the lefty, is set. The 1-0. Breaking ball inside. 2-0 the count. Haynes has popped up a little early on those breaking balls, concerned that McCrane will try to steal his way into scoring position. The 2-0 is fouled off straight behind home plate. 2-1. You can see there's valid reason. McCrane does have 11 stolen bases this year, but Haynes is not calling the game. Instead, it's pitching coach Matt Gonzalez off to the left-hand side. You'll see the catcher look over to his left to get the sign before giving it to the starter, Garcia. They're going to go check over at first. Throw again, almost gets by Biller at first. As Garcia will reset, grab a little bit of rosin, and step back on the mound. Garcia, the lefty, sets up on the first base side of the rubber and tries to utilize the lefty-lefty matchup to Rowell. Pitch is popped up into foul territory, and it's going to get out of play on top of the roof, right here above where our broadcast is set up. So Garcia, one of the longest at-bats he's had today. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. runner standing at first. Garcia comes set, takes a quick look. The pitch, upstairs. Haynes gave him the look of approval, trying to get a fastball, maybe not that high up the ladder, and brings the count full. Haynes comes set. The payoff pitch. This one's popped up into center field. Stroh's got to come in a little bit. Sun's in his eyes, but he's got it for out number 3. Xavier Garcia has been absolutely stellar through the first 4 innings and has given up just the 4 hits and has thrown just 26 pitches through those 4 innings. He's pitching towards contact and allowing this team to actually get back in it offensively. The Dragons' bats return to the batter's box in the top of the 5th. Nolan Fight returns to the bump in the 5th inning as he tries to keep it a 2-run game in favor of Amsterdam. The Dragons have been 1 hit so far. They've only had 2 runners reach. Tate Van Alsten reached via a walk, and then the single belongs to Joe Haynes. It looked like it was a double. Blasted ball off the wall in right field instead. Picked up great by McCrane out there in right, and so it stays as a base knock. Speaking of Joe Haynes, he's going to lead off this top of the 5th inning. It'll be 6, 7, and 8 in the Dragons lineup. Behind him will be Cam Biller and Chase Falcon to face Nolan Fight for the first time today. And Haynes, the only hit of the ball game for Glens Falls. The first pitch he sees is well outside, 1-0. Haynes, the best hitter in this Dragons lineup, hitting .350 on the year. Hits that one over the head of the first baseman, McKillop. It's down the right field line. Haynes this time takes a big round around first again, but not enough wheels to get towards second. This time, though, it's a leadoff single. And maybe the Dragons starting to formulate some offense against a hitter or a pitcher they've seen a lot of success against. So all the offense currently is associated to Joe Haynes, who stands at first with the leadoff single. In steps Cam Biller, who watches the first pitch fastball at the knees. 0-1. Biller had a weak pop-up over to Young Jr. at second back in the 2nd inning. The 0-1 pitch is a fastball. He barely gets underneath it into shallow center field, and it's going to get down for a base knock. It gets behind Filippi in center, but luckily the second baseman, Young Jr., was there to back it up. So weakly hit by Cam Biller makes it 2 singles to start the top of the 5th. Puts runners on first and second with nobody out. So in steps Chase Falcon, who went down looking. The only, or one of 2 looking strikeouts of the day. He squares the bunt, pulls back with a breaking ball in the dirt, 1-0. Head coach Ryan Dio has shown multiple times this year he will play the small ball with Travis Stroh, the big bat, the guy that was leading the Dragons in batting average for the month of June. Falcon squares the bunt again, but will pull back. Count 2-0. With a big bat waiting in the 9-hole, not surprising to see Dio try to move some guys into scoring position. 2-0 is squared down, bunt. Fight, fields it, throws to third. Not in time. They'll say he was off the bag. Haynes with an excellent head-first slide into third. Loads the bases here at Ralph Family Stadium. 3 straight singles to start the top of the 5th. Load the bases for the 9-hole hitter Travis Stroh. The defense for Amsterdam responds. The corners of Sparks and McKillop come into the grass. They'll take the 2-for-1 any day. Stroh lined out to right his first time. Watches the first pitch strike. 0-1. To start the year, Stroh was incredible. He's calmed down since then. He's got 9 RBIs to his name. The 0-1 pitch upstairs. You immediately saw him take his hand, realize where it's at. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Haynes at third, Biller at second, Falcon over at first. The 1-1. Outside, 2-1. Glens Falls has seemed like they might crack through the door against this Amsterdam team multiple times this year. Earlier this season at Ralph Family Stadium, the Dragons had a lead going into the 9th and then gave it up, a walk-off hit for the Mohawks. The 2-1 outside for ball 3. 3-1 the count now. Fight has gotten wild at times. He's got 8 walks, a pair of wild pitches. The 3-1. This one's popped up a mile high off into foul territory to the right-hand side. Touchstone goes back, is called off by the first baseman, McKillop, and it's brought in for out number 1. So even with the bases loaded, stay juiced as the lineup turns over, and Tate Van Alsten steps to the dish. And now all of a sudden the pitching coach for Amsterdam, Zach Breen, is going to come out and have a conversation with the infield. There is a pitcher warming for Amsterdam down in the bullpen, or at least getting loose. Started moving some bands, and you imagine as he picks up his glove that he's going to start to take some throws out there in right field. Van Alsten today is 0 for 1, struck out in the first and then drew the sole walk for Glens Falls in the 3rd. They called Chase Falcon's base knock a fielder's choice because Fight chose to go to 3rd, trying to get Joe Haynes. So it's a single, and a fielder's choice, which have loaded the bases for Tate Van Alsten. He's first pitch swinging way too late. 0-1. The 0-1 pitch, fouled straight back, just over the netting and out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. The corners for Amsterdam, they're not as far in, but they're equal with the base path. So again, they're going to try to gun down this run at home if it's hit at the corners. It's a big spot for the DH, Tate Van Alsten. The 0-2, breaking ball stays upstairs. 1-2. Van Alsten, the 1-2. He pops this one out into right field. McCrane's got to go back. He's got it for out number 2. Haynes will tag and score. The throw towards second to try to get Biller at third is tipped off the glove of Young Jr. And the Dragons cut the deficit in half. They trailed 2-1.
Second baseman committed to Rhode Island, the 32.
It's a sacrifice fly for Tate Van Alsten. Hit one the other way to bring in Haynes. Biller also moved to third. Falcon stayed at first. Now the second baseman, James Houghton, will step in. Just the 7th RBI of the season for Van Alsten. As Houghton watches the first pitch run inside and hit him on the elbow. He'll take that hit by pitch any day, and the bases are reloaded for Joe Carpier's. The shortstop from Xavier. He's got 11 runs batted in this season. He's been a consistent batter in that 3, 4, or 5 spot. He lives for the big moments. The first pitch he sees is upstairs, 1-0. So as it stands, Biller is at third, Falcon at second, Houghton at first. Fight comes set, the 1-0. Fouled straight back. Carpier's a little out in front of it. Says a couple of things to himself as head coach Ryan Dio down the third baseline is excited. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Home plate umpire Aaron Bouchy will go hand the ball to Fight, give a couple of seconds for touchstone behind the dish. Carpier's is 0 for 2 today. Struck out and grounded out. Fight, the big lefty, likes the first pitch and comes set. The 1-1. Upstairs, 2-1. Carpier's is 25 strikeouts, now leads the Dragons. But he still gets on base 35% of the time. The 2-1. Foul straight back. Makes it Deuces Wild here at Shuttleworth Park. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The Dragons, a prime opportunity to score. They can't let this one go. They've stranded so many runners this season on the base paths. Fight comes set. The 2-2. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Carpier's in frustration smashes his bat and snaps it in half. The shortstop from Xavier upset with the poor at bat that he got to a full count and wasn't able to capitalize with. Glens Falls still cut the deficit in half. They've got it 2-1 in the bottom half of the 5th. A prime opportunity to put pressure on Amsterdam. was falling flat. The Dragons had the bases loaded with only one out. They trailed by 2. They were able to score 1 run. Couldn't get that tying run across the plate. Instead, they'll hand the ball back to the starter, Xavier Garcia, for his 5th inning of work. He's got to face the 8, 9, and top of the Amsterdam lineup. It's John Young Jr., the second baseman, who will get it started for Amsterdam. And he popped out weakly to the second baseman, Houghton, his first time up. He watches that big breaking ball that just got past the glove of Haynes. 1-0. Pitch now. Big breaking ball almost hit the Alabama second baseman. 2-0. The 2-0. Outside for ball 3. Garcia has been comfortable all day. The 3-0 pitch in there for strike 1. He's been efficient with his pitches as well. That last pitch was pitch number 30. The 3-1 misses upstairs, and it's the first free pass issued by Xavier Garcia. It's to the leadoff hitter, John Young Jr. It brings up Luke Filippi.
The center fielder from New Albany at Port Jefferson, New York, number 12, Luke
Young Jr. has got some speed, and Filippi at the plate, also has some wheels on him. The Dragons have turned a league low 12 double plays this year. First pitch, chopped foul, weakly hit behind home plate. 0-1. Garcia comes set. Young Jr. dancing on the base pass. They're going to go check on him over at first. He'll get back in with ease. Young Jr. does have 11 stolen bases. That's tied for second on the team. Young Jr. again getting a massive lead off of first before Garcia even comes set. Garcia takes a big leg kick. That tells Young Jr. to get back. So it's back-to-back checks on him. As assistant coach Eric Downey will now go have a conversation with Young Jr. before stepping back. Imagine some sort of hit and run was on. Filippi taking his time to look at the head coach, Keith Griffin. The 0-1, squared to bunt down the third base line. Beautifully placed by Filippi to throw from Keniston, not in time. So Luke Filippi beautifully puts one down the third base line. No play attempt from Keniston or Garcia. Puts runners on first and second with nobody out, and the top of the lineup for Amsterdam. The shortstop, Chris Holcraft, will step to the dish now. He's 0 for 2 with a line out and a pop out, and he swung at the first pitch, both ABs. Does he make it 3 in a row? Garcia looks at second. The first pitch, Holcraft squares the bunt. A breaking ball well too far outside. 1-0. Working out of the stretch has not worked in the favor of Xavier Garcia. When he allows those base runners, he's really struggled to keep it in the zone and attack the rest of this Amsterdam lineup. That ball misses inside. 2-0. Garcia's got 2 runners on with nobody out. He'll come set. take a look at Young Jr. with a massive lead at second. The pitch. Upstairs, ball 3. 3-0 the count now to Chris Holcraft. And still no movement for the Dragons in their bullpen. Limited arms for Glens Falls, with a lot of players heading back towards school for their fall seasons. The 3-0. This one's drilled out to center field. Stroh's got to come in, but it's going to get down for a base knock. Stroh is going to make a play towards the plate, but Young Jr. instead will stay at third. The second baseman looked like he might try to go home. Instead, it's a single that'll load the bases for Jake Sparks, who's absolutely had the Dragons' number as of late. Dating back to July 18th. On the 18th, Sparks had a double. On the 19th, he had a pair of doubles against this Dragon squad. And then now today, he's already had one back in the third. Garcia was able to minimize the damage. It came with 2 outs and nobody on in that third frame. Now he's got to face Sparks with the bases juiced in a 1-run ball game. The first pitch, breaking ball in the zone, 0-1. All of a sudden, you see Ryan Jones head down to the bullpen. Jake O'Connor starts to stand up and get loose. The 0-1. Another breaking ball in the dirt. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Young Jr. at third, Filippi the speedster at second, and Holcraft at first. Garcia's 1-1. Swung on and missed. An excellent pitch from Garcia. Changeup on the outside half. Had Sparks swinging over the top of it to make it a 1-2 count. And so Jones has walked down to the bullpen as it looked like O'Connor is up and he's stretching, not throwing quite yet. The 1-2. Fouled off to the right-hand side. Garcia almost ran a fastball right by Sparks. He was able to get a piece of wood on it and foul it off, so we get to redo the 1-2. The Dragons would love to limit damage here in the 5th, keep it as clean as possible against the Mohawks. The 1-2 is foul tipped into the catcher's Haynes, who shakes it off like it's nothing. And we get to do the 1 ball, 2 strike pitch again. So there's nobody out in the bottom of the 5th. Bases loaded from a walk and 2 singles. The 1-2. Fouled off to the right-hand side. Sparks not at all happy that he let that one go. A breaking ball at the knees. He just chopped it off. The Siena infielder has hit the ball well against Glens Falls this year. Would be no bigger spot than to add RBIs, 4, 5, maybe 6. The 1-2 is popped up out into right field. Falcon barely has to move. He's got it. The throw towards third will allow Young Jr. to score, and that'll allow Filippi to get to third, as it's a sacrifice fly from Jake Sparks. And Amsterdam grabs that run right back. They lead 3-1. So the sacrifice fly brings home Young Jr. Filippi goes to third. Holcraft stays at first, and the RBI leader for Amsterdam will step in, Bray Touchstone, who's 0 for 2 with a pop-up and a line out to first. Holcraft antsy on the base pass. decides not to go as the first pitch is outside. 1-0. Now, all of a sudden, Holcraft's on the move. No throw from Haynes behind the dish as the pitch was in the dirt. So 2-0 moves runners into scoring position for Touchstone, who's got 36 RBIs this season. Garcia's 2-0. This one's drilled out to deep left field, back at the wall, and Bray Touchstone blows it open. The Mohawks lead 6-1 after the catcher's 5th home run of the season. Touchstone is now 1 of 4 that can say they've hit 5 home runs in 2025. Amsterdam is rolling. They've got it. 6-1 here in the bottom of the 5th. The 5th long ball for Bray Touchstone. Brings home 3. And brings up the left fielder, Luke Costello. He takes a first pitch. Tries to send it exactly where Touchstone did. Instead, he's just over the top of it, 0-1. The 0-1. Another breaking ball from Garcia. Can't find the zone. 1-1. And now you see Jake O'Connor sits down. It looks like it's Aiden Newhall up and moving as the 1-1 hit over to Keniston at third. He fields it cleanly, throws across the diamond to first, not picked by Biller. An error by Brody Keniston. Puts a runner on first with 1 out, and Amsterdam can add more. The hot corner has been a problem, as all of a sudden Matt Gonzalez will come out and have a conversation with Xavier Garcia, and you imagine it's got to be the end of his day. Or it doesn't look like it. Looks like Matt Gonzalez is just going to go have a conversation with him and try to limit damage and see if Garcia can truly finish this 5th inning. It's been 4 runs to come home to score. A Young Junior walk, Filippi single, a Holcraft single, and then Bray Touchstone's 3-run bomb made it 6-1. Costello reached via an error, and that brings up the pinch hitter for Amsterdam. It's number 20, Will Cowan. He'll take over duties for the first baseman, John McKillop. Cowan this year hitting .265. Takes a lefty bat out of the lineup for Amsterdam. The first pitch Cowan sees is a fastball at the knees. 0-1. Garcia looks at first. The 0-1 pitch. This one's drilled out to deep left field. Back goes Mello at the track, and he's got it for out number 2. So Cowan off the bench almost had a loud at-bat in the pinch hit spot. Instead, it's out number 2 and much needed if you're Xavier Garcia. So now in steps the right fielder, Brandon McCrane. McCrane today is 2 for 2 with an RBI double and a single. He's also got a run scored to his name. So if it wasn't for that 3-run shot from Bray Touchstone, it would have been an absolute player of the game type situation for McCrane as he watches the first pitch upstairs. 1-0. A 1-0 breaking ball misses too far inside. 2-0. The 2-0. Just below the knees. 3-0. It's been a real blow-up inning for Garcia. 3 hits. He's allowed 4 runs, all of which were earned. The Dragons just looking for him to get through this inning so they can preserve as much arms as possible. As the 3-0 hits at the knees. 3-1. With the Dragons out of playoff contention, they still have to finish the regular season, and they don't have another off day. They play every single day from now until Tuesday. The 3-1. This one's drilled out to left field. Mello running back will grab it on the warning track. So Garcia's day ends after a massive home run from Bray Touchstone that gave Amsterdam all they needed. They've got a 5-run lead as we head to the 6th. The Mohawks have taken a commanding 6-1 lead, thanks in part due to a 3-run home run from Bray Touchstone in the bottom of the 5th. You saw a pinch hitter for Amsterdam. Will Cohen came in for John McKillop. He'll go out and play right field with Brendan McCrane coming into play first. And then there's a new pitcher on the mound for Amsterdam. It's Mason Veronese, the right-hander, who's now committed to go play at Weber. Throws the first pitch upstairs to Robert Mello. 1-0. The pitch in the dirt. 2-0. Veronese across 8 appearances in 2025, has got a 0.64 ERA. He's given up 1 earned run this season. The 1-0. That one's popped out into the right center field. Gap over goes Filippi, who will have it for out number 1. So loud contact for Robert Mello to start the top of the 6th. Instead is out number 1. So now the third baseman, Brody Keniston, will step to the dish. He's over 2 with 2 strikeouts today. Keniston had that error that allowed a runner to reach in the bottom half as he's first pitch swinging over towards the shortstop Holcraft. It's kicked off his foot, and that's going to go down as an E6. Keniston will reach base. On the air from Chris Holcraft, the PGCBO All-Star, has his 9th error of the summer. And now the Dragons can start to make a push towards a comeback. Joe Haynes steps into the dish. He watches the first pitch on the outside. 0-1. Haynes today is 2 for 2 with a run scored. He's the only run to come across for Glens Falls. The 0-1. Breaking ball, hit the outside half. Haynes, not a big fan of that call, makes it an 0-2 count. Keniston takes a small lead off of first. The 0-2. Chopped back towards the pitcher, Veronese. He goes to second for 1. The throw to first in time. Amsterdam turns their 26th double play of the summer as Haynes grounds into a double play. The 13th that Glens Falls has done this season. Head coach Ryan Dio is not happy with the field umpire's call. He thought Haynes beat it out, and so did the backstop. Instead, it's going to say a 6-1 game after Veronese made quick work of the Dragons in the top half of the 6th. The Dragons go 1-2-3 in the top of the 6th and hand the ball to a new pitcher after Xavier Garcia's 4-run 5th inning. His day ends after 5 innings of work. He gave up 7 hits, allowed 6 runs. He walked 1. The bigger thing with Garcia, however, is he struck out none. Xavier Garcia this year had 23 strikeouts through 27 1/3 coming into today. Through his 5 innings of work against the Mohawks this afternoon, he struck out 0. He hands the ball over to Aiden Newhall out of the pen. It looked like it was going to be Jake O'Connor. Instead, Newhall will get an appearance, his 7th of the year. And Newhall has not gone more than an inning and a third all season long. And he's got a 10.8 ERA. And looks to keep it clean in appearance number 7. He's got a 0-1 record, but he's got to do it against an Amsterdam lineup that just mashes the baseball. It'll be 7, 8, and 9 for the Mohawks. Brett Roel wounds it off. He takes the first pitch off speed at the top of the zone. 0-1. It's back-to-back lefties for the Dragons. They only have 3 available lefty arms, both pitching today against the Mohawks. The 0-1. Outside. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Newhall, not like a couple of the other pitchers. He will take his sweet time. If he doesn't want to throw, he won't. As the 1-1 misses outside to make it 2 balls and 1 strike. The 2-1 outside makes it 3-1 to Roel. The designated hitter is 0 for 2 today. He grounded out to short and flew out to center field. The 3-1s hit foul down the right field line. Roel is one of just 3 players to not have a hit in today's ball game. One of those players is John McKillop, who was taken out of the game for Will Cowan last inning. The payoff pitch on the outside half for strike 3. So Aiden Newhall, in his first at-bat out of the bullpen, already has more strikeouts than Xavier Garcia did through his full 5 innings. Now the lefty second baseman, John Young Jr., will step to the dish. Young Jr. is 0 for 1. He reached base via a walk back in the 5th. That started a 4-run inning for Amsterdam. He watches the first pitch hit the outside half. 0-1. Young Jr.'s almost been hit a couple of times, so a lot of breaking balls from Garcia that didn't really break, moving towards Young Jr.'s head. The pitch outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Newhall will come set. The 1-1. Swung on and missed. Had a nice off-speed pitch on the outside half. Unlike Garcia, Newhall has pretty much exclusively worked away to these lefties. Back-to-back same-sided hitters he has to face in Roel and Young Jr. and has thrown just 1 pitch inside. The 1-2 is upstairs. Haynes gives him a look and says it's a good spot. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2. Also upstairs. Now it's a full count to John Young Jr. Aiden Newhall's first full count of the day. Payoff pitch. Chopped over towards Biller at first, but it just curves foul. First base coach for the Mohawks, Eric Downey, didn't even move. Just allowed Biller to move over towards his right side. And the ball almost hit the first base coach, but stood there stone cold. As we get to redo the 3-2. The pitch. Runs inside and hits John Young Jr. So Newhall, who had earned a full count, was one pitch away from getting Young Jr. out. Instead, puts him down at first with a hit by pitch. So now the center fielder from UAlbany, Luke Philippi, steps to the dish. He's 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored. The first pitch he sees runs inside, almost nails Philippi in the femur, and 1-0. Philippi was a part of that 5th inning. The only player to not come to the plate in that 5th was the leadoff hitter, Roel, as they're going to go check on Young Jr., who barely gets back in there safely. That one's chopped over towards Carpier's at short. He throws the second for 1. The throw to first, picked by Biller in time. Glens Falls turns their 13th double play of the year. Got the speedster of Young Jr. and Philippi on the base paths with an excellent pick from the first baseman, Cam Biller, to end the 6th inning. We head to the back third of this ball game. Glens Falls has got a 5-run deficit to crawl out of. We're back at Rao Family Stadium here at Shuttleworth Park in Amsterdam, New York. I'm Nathaniel Cunningham. I'll have you through the rest of these 3 innings between the Dragons and the Mohawks. Mason Veronese was absolutely stellar in his first inning. Had an inning-ending double play with a flyout thrown in there. However, his day is done after just 1 inning of work. Didn't give up a hit. Didn't allow a run. He didn't walk anybody nor strike anybody out. The runner reached base via an error. That was Brody Keniston on the base paths. Taking over on the bump for Amsterdam will be Brad Curtis, who is appearing in his 7th game this year, and he's got a 3.6 ERA through 10 innings of work. He's given up just 4 earned runs, and he will also attack this Dragons lineup, but he does get a little wild at times. He's got 9 walks in those 10 innings, but he's also got 8 strikeouts. He's got to face 7, 8, and 9. Cam Biller, Chase Falcon, and Travis Stroh. The first pitch to Biller is popped foul, out of play. 0-1. Curtis coming set. The 0-1 in the dirt. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Biller today is 1 for 2. Had a single back in that 5th inning where the Dragons stranded 3 runners on the base paths. And yet, only 1 run was able to come around to score in that 5th, the sole run for Glens Falls today. The 2-1. This one's drilled out to deep left center field. Back at the wall goes Filippi, and he grabs it on the warning track. Biller absolutely mashed that baseball. It looked like it was a home run the whole way. Biller looking for his first home run of the summer. Instead, it just died in deep center field, and it's a loud first out to Brad Curtis. In steps Chase Falcon, who fouls off the first pitch he sees to the right-hand side, 0-1. Biller has had a lot of loud contact this year, but only 2 doubles. Those are his sole extra base hits. Falcon's 0-1 is weakly popped up into shallow center field. Back goes Young Jr. He got it hopping up over his shoulder for out number 2. So now the center fielder, Travis Stroh, he steps into the dish. He's 0 for 2. He lined out to right, and then he popped out to the first baseman in foul territory. He was closer to the catcher, but called off by the first baseman. At the time, it was McKillop. But Stroh will foul off the first pitch straight back. 0-1. Curtis trying to make quick work of the Dragons again. The 0-1. Swung on and missed. 0-2. Curtis takes his time, agrees with a couple of pitches, then comes set. The 0-2. Swung on and missed. Curtis picks up his first strikeout of the day out of the bullpen and sends the Dragons down 1-2-3. It's their 4th time going down 1-2-3 through 7 innings of work. The offense is running out of time to figure it out here at Ralph Family Stadium. Welcome back to Rao Family Stadium here at Shuttleworth Park in Amsterdam, New York. I'm Nathaniel Cunningham. With Amsterdam leading Glens Falls 6-1. The pitching staff for the Mohawks, so staff that has the best ERA in the PGCBL, is proving it once again against this Dragon squad, holding them to just one run, while the offense has large in part been led by a 3-run home run from Bray Touchstone back in the 5th. It's the top of the lineup for the Mohawks that'll have to face Aiden Newhall for the first time today, as Newhall's first pitch to the leadoff hitter Chris Holcraft is up and outside. 1-0. Holcraft today is 1 for 3 with a single and a run scored back in that 5th frame. He got home because of that Touchstone bomb as he fouls this one off out of play and over towards the parking lot. 1-1. That one's chopped over the head of Newhall over towards Houghton at second. The throw to first, not in time. Chris Holcraft with some wheels beat down the high chopper that Houghton didn't charge, but instead let it come to him deep in the second base gap. The leadoff hitter reaches via a single, his second hit of the ball game, and passes the baton to Jake Sparks. The Siena third baseman is 1 for 2 with a double and a sacrifice fly to his name. Newhall takes a look at first, takes another, doesn't check, squares a bunt from Sparks, but he pulls back as he watches ball 1. Holcraft taking a sizable lead over at first, but inching his way back towards the back. The 1-0, they're going to go check on him. The throw, not in time. A little errant over towards Biller. If it was placed properly, the Dragons would have picked off Chris Holcraft. Holcraft leads the Mohawks in stolen bases. He's got 17 on the year. The 1-0, that one's hit. Broken bat down the right field line, and it's fair. Into the corner and out of play for a ground rule double. Jake Sparks has 5 doubles against the Dragons in the last week. He puts runners on second and third with nobody out.
Number 18, Bray Touchstone.
Bray Touchstone is getting his first at bat since that moonshot back in the 5th that put Amsterdam on top 6-1. It was his 5th home run of the year. The first pitch he sees is a fastball inside. 0-1. And now all of a sudden Haynes will go have a conversation with Newhall. Maybe a little bit of a miscommunication or some game planning against Amsterdam's best hitter. Touchstone hitting .365 this year. He's now 1 run shy of 40 RBIs this summer. And among all the stats Touchstone leads, he's been hit 11 times this year. That leads the Mohawks as well. The 0-1 runs inside. It doesn't hit him. They're going to say it bounced in the dirt and got behind him. And it was Haynes who knocked it down. So it evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. The broadcaster's curse almost came to fruition, though. 11 hit by pitches for the backstop Touchstone. He's got 2 runners in scoring position. Can pick up RBI 40 and 41. The 1-1. Breaking ball on the outside half. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And now, pitching coach Matt Gonzalez is going to come out to have an official mound visit. It looks like Newhall might not be totally confident out there on the mound, or really just maybe a miscommunication between Haynes and Newhall about what the situation is.
The Mohawks return home on Tuesday night for the regular season finale on Law Enforcement Night, sponsored by Brixton.
We've got a couple of arms for the Dragons up and moving in their bullpen. But if the Dragons want any chance to get back into this game with 6 outs offensively to work with, they need to pitch and keep it where it's at. But there's no outs to the best hitter in the Amsterdam lineup, Bray Touchstone. He's got Holcraft at third, Sparks at second. Holcraft already has a homer today. Did it back in the 5th inning with an absolute tank over the left field wall. Newhall comes set. The 1-2. Hit weakly off to the right-hand side. Biller comes all the way off the mound. The throw to first in time. Newhall did a great job to cover as Biller came off the bag, but a run comes home to score. So Touchstone picks up RBI number 40 this summer. As in to score was Chris Holcraft. Sparks moved over to third, and Amsterdam leads 7-1. So it's a 4-1 putout. Not often that you see those go down in the stat book. And a run home to score and moves Sparks to third. In steps the left fielder Luke Costello, who watches the first pitch out. Get behind. Haynes does an athletic play to prevent it from hitting home plate umpire Aaron Bouchy, and that ends up keeping Sparks at third. Unlike the backstop at East Field, here at Shuttleworth Park, the backstop is completely brick, so that baseball, if it cleanly comes to the backstop, it will ricochet like it did just then. Haynes did a good job to grab it and keep Sparks 90 feet from home. The 1-0, also outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Costello's 1 for 3 today, a double and a run scored, a ground out, and he reached via an error as that pitch hits the outside half, 2-1. The pitch upstairs for ball 3. 3-1 to count now to Luke Costello. Waiting in the wings is the right fielder Will Cowan, who pinch hit for John McKillop back in the 5th. The 3-1. Outside for ball 4. And Newhall will allow a free pass, his first of the ball game. It puts runners on the corners with only 1 out. So Will Cowan steps to the dish. He flew out to left. A loud fly out that was caught by Mello at the track, just shy of the wall. Would love to repeat that again. The first pitch he sees is upstairs. 1-0. First and third for Amsterdam. Costello, who stands at first. He doesn't have a stolen base this summer. He's been caught once. The 1-0 is a breaking ball that never broke. 2-0. Newhall has been known to struggle to find the zone. Instead of just attacking hitters, similar to how Xavier Garcia did, tries to be fancy with the strikeouts. And has led to a deficit with runners on. The 2-0. Swung on and missed. Cowan absolutely fooled, well over the top, but acknowledged a good pitch from Newhall as he pulled the string on the changeup and got the right fielder over the top of it. Newhall comes set. The 2-1. Another off-speed pitch that hits the top of the zone this time. So Newhall going from the absolute bottom, bringing it upstairs to the top, evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The sun has just started to set as we reach the 2-hour mark here at Shuttleworth, and Cowan will step out as something flew into his eye. So we just now reached the 2-hour mark as we're in the bottom of the 7th of Ralph Family Stadium here at Shuttleworth Park. I'm Nathaniel Cunningham. Had you for the whole game between the Mohawks and the Dragons. The 2-2. This one's popped foul out of play. Cowan doing everything he can to stay in this at bat, keep this one alive. The 2-2. Runs inside. Count will improve to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Big spot for Aiden Newhall, who would love the second out of the inning. As a reset was called from home plate umpire Aaron Bouchy. Reset. The payoff pitch. Upstairs, gets past Haynes behind the dish. He grabs it with ease off the backstop, but that loads the bases. So with only 1 out, back-to-back walks by Aiden Newhall have loaded the bases for the first baseman, Brendan McCrane. There's someone warming for the Dragons, so this gets out of hand, then Glens Falls will make a change. If McCrane can hit one out of here, that would enact a mercy rule. He has hit 2 long balls this year, and the mercy rule would be 10 runs after the 7th inning. The first pitch McCrane sees is outside, 1-0. So that would send these fans home ecstatic if McCrane can get one out. We've seen the ball fly in this shortened Shuttleworth Park Stadium. So McCrane steps out to reset. Newhall comes set. 1-0. Upstairs, 2-0. The 2-0 is swung over the top of and missed. Makes it 2 balls and 1 strike. McCrane is one of 7 players for Amsterdam that plays in a Power 5 conference. The 2-1. Breaking ball that stood up. Count is now 3 balls and 1 strike. You have to imagine what the leash is for Newhall. Matt Gonzalez already had a meeting, so if they choose to do another, that means Newhall's day comes to an end. The 3-1. Swung on and missed. McCrane way too late. Almost swung out of his shoes, falling over the top of himself. So now Newhall brings the count full. The payoff. Popped foul. McCrane wants to swing. So much so that he swung at ball 4. It would have been an RBI for the first baseman. Instead, he gives Newhall a new life. The payoff pitch once more. as it's Sparks who stands at third, Costello at second, Cowan over at first. McCrane will settle in. Newhall's set. The 3-2. Runs inside and almost nails McCrane. A run will come home to score, and Amsterdam has made it 8-1. And just like that, Ryan Dio responds by stepping out of the dugout. That means Aiden Newhall's day comes to an end after 3 straight walks. Amsterdam now leads it 8-1, and they're 3 runs from a mercy rule win. We'll step aside with the new pitcher warming here at Shuttleworth Park. A quick warm-up for Ethan McGarry, who will take over for Aiden Newhall. He went just an inning and a third, giving up 2 hits, walking 3, and his sole out here in the 7th was a strikeout. He's allowed 2 runs, both of which were earned, to come home, and he's left the bases loaded for Newhall. So a tough spot for McGarry to inherit, and McGarry in his 7th appearance has got to face the 7-hole hitter Brett Rowell. He watches the first pitch upstairs, 1-0. So Rowell today is 0 for 3, a ground out, a fly out, and a strikeout. But he faces McGarry, who through 6 appearances has got an 18.56 ERA. The 1-0, check swing from Rowell. They're going to ask if he went around. Field umpire says no, he did not. 2 balls, no strikes. Every other batter in the Amsterdam lineup has reached base except for Brett Rowell. As the 2-0 is a breaking ball outside for ball 3. McGarry comes set, the 3-0. Fouled straight back. They gave Rowell the green light on the 3-0 pitch. He's got Costello at third, Cowan at second, McCrane at first. McCrane, the winning run. The 3-1. That one's chopped foul off to the left-hand side. And now McGarry, who was in a 3-0 deficit, has worked it back to 3-2. So full count, only one out here in the bottom of the 7th. The payoff. Outside for ball 4. And Rao will reach base for the first time today. And now all 9 hitters have reached base. Costello comes home to score. And it's now 9-1. Amsterdam's on top. So now they're going to pinch run over at first for Brett Rao. It'll be number 32, Sebastian Harding, who will take over with the second baseman, John Young Jr., coming to the dish. Young Jr. today, he's 0 for 1, but he has a run scored. That's because he drew a walk and was hit by a pitch. He was then on the bad part of a double play that ended the inning in the 6th. He watches the first pitch outside for ball 1. Count is 1-0. So Young Jr. can play hero. The 1-0 is a breaking ball that gets the outside half of the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. McGarry looks in, likes the sign, comes set. The 1-1. Breaking ball, too far outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. It's Cowan at third, McCrane at second, and the pinch runner, Sebastian Harding, at first. McGarry's 2-1. In the dirt, 3-1. The pitching staff is letting down his Dragons squad. Combined, Glens Falls has got a 7.16 ERA. But the offense has gone silent. The 3-1 pitch, it's hit hard down the first base line, but foul. And so it's another full count for McGarry. The last one went in favor of Rowell. Glens Falls, they score the least amount of run in the PGCBL. They have the second worst batting averages. That one's popped up into shallow right field. Mello and Stroh collide into the left center field. Gap into score comes Young Jr. And Amsterdam takes a sacrifice fly and puts double digits on the scoreboard. They've got a 10-1 lead.
The center fielder from New Albany, number 12, Luke Philippi.
Nobody gets on base for Amsterdam better than Luke Philippi does. An on-base percentage over .450. Philippi watches the first pitch, breaking ball in the zone for strike 1. Count is 0-1. Philippi, the first righty that McGarry's got to face. Had to face a pair of lefties out of the bullpen. As the 0-1 is a breaking ball that stayed too far upstairs. 1-1. Today, Philippi's 1 for 3. Came around to score back in that 5th. The 1-1. In the dirt, gets away from Haynes to the backstop. That'll allow both runners, McCrane and Hardin, to advance to second and third. So a wild pitch from McGarry makes the count 2 balls and 1 strike. And pushes McCrane 90 feet from home. Hardin over at second. The 2-1. Breaking ball in the zone. Evens the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. McGarry throwing a bunch of those big looping curveballs. Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch. Hit weakly off to the first base side. Biller tries to make a diving play, but it's underneath his glove in foul territory. A little bit of a slow jump from Biller over at first. Allowed him not to get the best read into foul ground. It means we redo the 2-2. The 2-2. Breaking ball stays upstairs. It's another full count for Ethan McGarry. The first righty pitcher for Glens Falls. He's won 1 and he's lost 1. The payoff. Swung on and missed for strike 3 and out 3 in the bottom of the 7th. It's a 9-run hole Glens Falls has got to work out of as we head to the top of the 8th. Another pitching change for Amsterdam. They bring in Derek Duval, who looks to keep it clean and continue the Mohawks' dominance here at Shuttleworth Park. It's the top of the lineup for Glens Falls as they start a 9-run comeback as the first pitch from Van Alsten is lined out to right field, but Cowan, the new right fielder, grabs it on the run for out number 1. Duval working out of the pen. He's got a 1.11 ERA in 14 appearances. Thrown in 24 and a third innings. He's given up just 3 earned runs this season. 11 total on the year. So the defense has let him down at times, but a 1.11 ERA nonetheless. The 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball too far outside. evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1. Fouled straight back by Houghton. Makes it a 1-2 count. James Houghton today is 0 for 2 with 2 flyouts to center field, both of which were loud contact outs. They just couldn't sneak close enough to the fence to get at it here. He was also hit by a pitch back in the 5th. The 1-2 misses in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 pitch is hit back up the middle, almost nails Duvall in the face, but it's into center field for a base knock. So Houghton will reach base for the 2nd time today, his first hit in the ball game. And it's Glens Falls' first hit since the 5th inning. Brings up Joe Carpier's. Carpier's had a big spot, bases loaded in the 5th. And couldn't put anything in play to give Glens Falls a chance to cut into what at the time was a run deficit. The 1-0 pitch. Upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes. Duvall takes a long look at first in the 2-0 in the zone. 2-1. Carpier's is 0 for 3 today. 2 strikeouts and a ground out. He's been aggressive. He swings a lot. He's made hard contact, but doesn't seem to find green grass a whole ton. And as the count will even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Duvall comes set, takes a quick look at Houghton at first. The 2-2 pitch. Check swing from Carpier's. Home plate umpire say he'll know you're close to going around and makes it a full count for Derek Duvall. The 3-2, runners on the move. Full swing from Carpier's. The throw down from Touchstone, not in time. So Carpier's goes down on strikes for the 3rd time in today's ball game. Houghton, though, will pick up the first stolen bag for either squad today, move himself into scoring position, and bring up the lefty, Robert Mello. Mello's 0 for 3 today, as he watches the first pitch upstairs. The 1-0. Chopped foul. Off the catcher. Touchstone, so it'll even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Mello grounded out, flown out, and he popped out in foul territory. The 1-1. Breaking ball in the dirt. Touchstone does an excellent job to block it and keep it in front. 2 balls, 1 strike. The 2-1. Popped up over into shallow left field. Back goes Holcraft. Settles underneath it. Calls off the new 3rd baseman, Jemison, for out number 3. All the Mohawks need is 1 run to end it here at Ralph Family Stadium. The top of the lineup for Amsterdam has a chance to walk it off in style here at Rao Family Stadium in Shuttleworth Park. The bottom of the 8th is brought to you, and it's been Amsterdam that's just controlled this ball game. Glens Falls offense silenced. Just 4 hits in today's ball game. 2 of them belong to Joe Haynes. It's been all downhill from the start. So the top of the lineup, Chris Holcraft, Jake Sparks, and Bray Touchstone look to end this ball game. Holcraft watches a first pitch breaking ball in the zone, 0-1. Touchstone's first 2 at-bats, he had a line out and a pop out on just 2 pitches. The second couple, he waited a little bit, and he had 2 singles where he's come around to score on both of them. He pops that breaking ball up over towards the right-hand side. Biller in foul territory. He's got to come back in fair to grab it for out number 1. So it's a quick out number 1 for Ethan McGarry, who's in his first full inning of work as the defensive substitution, Peyton Jemison, will get his first at-bat in this ballgame. Jemison came in the top half of the 8th, and now he'll get his first trip to the dish as he watches the pitch upstairs, 1-0. Jemison's hitting just 175 this season. As he takes that 1-0 pitch, hits it fair down the third base line and over towards the corner, where it's then out of play. So a ground rule double for Peyton Jemison, his 3rd double of the season. The winning run stands at second. So the man that blew this game open, Bray Touchstone, comes to the dish, but it looks like instead it's going to be a pinch hitter for the best player in Amsterdam. Number 45, DJ Wallace, is going to be hitting in place of Bray Touchstone. And the high school senior from Ballston Spa has played in just 3 games. He's come in as a pinch hitter both times. This is just his 3rd at-bat of the summer. He's got to step up in a big spot against Ethan McGarry. The first pitch he sees is a breaking ball. Well upstairs, 1-0. Jemison with a nice lead at second. The 1-0 upstairs. Wallace doesn't have a hit this year. Doesn't have an RBI to his name either. He's yet to reach the base paths. He's got a hitter-friendly count. 2-0 to Ethan McGarry. The pitch. Outside, 3-0. The bullpen for Glens Falls is emptied, so McGarry is going to finish this ball game. The 3-0 pitch, swung on and missed. Wallace had the green light. He wanted to put one in play. Head coach Keith Griffin gave him the swing away sign and makes it 3 balls and 1 strike. McGarry comes set. The pitch. Low, and it's the first walk of 2025 for DJ Wallace. Puts runners on first and second with 1 out. So now the left fielder, Luke Costello, steps in. He's 1 for 3 with a double, a run scored, but he's reached 2 other times today, once via an error, and the other time via a walk. Costello watches the first pitch in the zone, 0-1. McGarry set. The 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt. Picked by Haynes. 1 ball, 1 strike. One outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. And Jemison steals third. Lackadaisical defense by Glens Falls. Jemison caught Glens Falls sleeping, and he steals third on the throwback. So McGarry comes set. The 2-1 upstairs. 3 balls and 1 strike now to Luke Costello. As soon as Jemison took third, you saw head coach Keith Griffin look over at first with DJ Wallace and told him to calm down, almost signaling like he didn't want the catcher to steal a bag. He hasn't tried one yet, as that pitch misses upstairs and Costello draws the free pass to load the bases. So now a ball in play will end this game. And they give it to the right fielder, Will Cowan.
The right fielder from St. John's, number 20, Will Cowan.
Cowan had a walk just an inning prior back in the 7th. He flew out to left in the 5th. Either option works. The first pitch he sees is a breaking ball in the dirt. 1-0.
Everyone with a bag of tennis balls come to the first base dugout. Everyone with tennis balls come to the first base dugout.
Cowan will step back in. McGarry comes set. The base is loaded for the Mohawks. The 1-0 misses upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. If I'm Will Cowan in this situation, the bat doesn't even come off the shoulders. Make Ethan McGarry prove that he can throw the ball in the zone. He hasn't done a very good job at it really at all today. McGarry's thrown 33 pitches and only 14 of them are strikes, but Cowan decides to not elicit my advice and swing at that one. 2 balls, 1 strike. So under 50% of McGarry's pitches have been in the zone. He's got a 2-1 count to the right fielder. That one's drilled out to center field. Stroke goes underneath it, settles, and grabs it. The throw to home to get Jemison, not in time. And Amsterdam walks it off. Will Cowan with a walk-off sacrifice fly makes the final 11-1, Amsterdam on top.
Final score in 8 innings. Your Mohawks 11, the Glens Falls Dragons.
The streak of 26 becomes 27. Amsterdam has continued to beat down on Glens Falls. It's been 1,129 days since the Dragons have beaten the Mohawks. It won't happen until next season. An offensive onslaught from the best team in PGCBL history, and quiet silenceness from the Dragons. Your final here from Ralph Family Stadium: Mohawks 11, Dragons 1. From the entire Glens Falls Dragons staff, I've been Nathaniel Cunningham. Glens Falls returns to Eastfield tomorrow to take on Boonville and try to end 2025 on a hot streak.